Shields up, Iron Breakers. Rurikhan here coming at you with another video, and today we're going to be talking about Battlefront 2. Yes, it does appear that EA's colossal fuck-up is going to have a serious impact in their revenue report. So we've recently had a report that in the UK, the data that I've seen today is specifically to the UK. I don't know how the rest of the world is doing, but in the UK, the physical retail release of Battlefront 2 has actually sold 60% less than the first Star Wars Battlefront that they worked on. Not the very first one, but the one that they did in 2015. Now, of course, you guys say, oh yeah, it was 2015, and now digital sales are more important and all this other stuff. And yes, you are correct, but when compared to Battlefield 1, for instance, and you do have to take into consideration that when you're comparing a game like a game that is associated with the Star Wars franchise to a Battlefield game, the Star Wars game has a clear, distinct advantage of being associated with the Star Wars franchise. But anyway, when compared to the same data for Battlefield 1 last year, it has sold 50% less. So either way you paint this nasty looking picture, it is still going to mean quite a significant loss of revenue. Again, these numbers are for the UK, but I'm assuming we're probably going to be seeing similar things throughout the rest of the world. Maybe it will be a little bit lower in the US because I think the US probably has the highest fandom of Star Wars, and justifiably so. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, okay? Just throwing that out there. But anyways, one big important thing to take away from this is that digital sales, as I've mentioned earlier, digital sales have been increasing over the years even, and a lot more people now buy their games digitally instead of boxed retail versions. But I do have to say about that particular bit is that it's a damn shame that people don't appreciate boxed versions. I know digital is so much more convenient, doesn't take up space. I don't have to get out of my house and go into a store to get it. But guys, come on, you're never gonna, the way that things are going, my kid is never going to know the joy that it is to actually buy a boxed video game, open up the box, get the manual, and then go to the bathroom and take a dump while you're reading the instructions booklet. It's an important part of every gamer's lives, and I really don't want to, you know, deprive my son from having that beautiful experience. So please, people, buy more boxed titles. Don't just buy digital, okay? Anyway, moving on, I do believe that in the case of Battlefront 2, the whales that came in on the first wave, like you guys know, I did that whole Battlefront 2 conspiracy theory thing. But I believe that the whales, the first adopters who happened to also be whales, most likely still netted them quite a bit of profit. But either way you look at this, there is no way that EA isn't getting hurt by the simple fact that 60% lower boxed versions, and on top of that, also no microtransactions at launch. They're taking a punch. They're taking a serious punch after all of this, which in a way, I guess it is a big success. It is kind of a victory for the gaming community, but don't rest on your laurels just yet, because I don't think we're done with all of this. But I should say that I have underestimated the power that we had when I made the last video, and I said this game's still gonna sell millions and millions, and it does appear that that is not going to be the case. However, I also must say that I believe this is actually some really bad news for the fans of Battlefront 2, because like myself, like I've mentioned in other videos, I actually like the game. I think the game is really good, with obviously the exception of the stupid progression system that is completely fucked. Other than that, I actually think the game is pretty good, and I believe there's probably millions of people that are going to be in the same field as me. They're going to be like, this game's actually good if it didn't have a really stupid progression system. However, I feel that with this net loss in revenue that EA is suffering, I feel that's actually bad news for people who are looking forward to Battlefront 2, because most likely EA is just going to go ahead, cut their losses, just enable microtransactions again, and milk the whales dry. At least that's the only thing that I can think of, because that's like the only thing they can still kind of come back from and make some money out of this game, which again, it's a really pessimistic scenario, but if that doesn't happen, I don't know what is going to happen. The other possibility is also that EA might just lose the Star Wars franchise altogether over this massive fuck up that they've managed to do for themselves, which again is really impressive. I mean, have you guys ever seen Mickey Mouse just curb stomp a bitch? Because that's what's about to happen to EA. Now, on a related bit of news, it seems that EA is also revising their microtransaction system that was placed into Need for Speed Payback, which I've also talked about because loot boxes and randomness and annoyances and stuff like that. However, the main change that they're doing from everything that I've read on every website is pretty much they're making it so that you can get everything faster. So like you can get reputation faster, you can get money faster, you can get speed cards faster, so you can get everything faster. And after reading all of these changes to the Need for Speed Payback thing, it just makes me realize, like, you guys kind of completely missed the point. The point, at least for me personally, the point was not how fast you're able to get speed cards and how fast you're able to get reputation and all of these other things. To me, the biggest problem is how random the fucking system is. Like, could you add any more degrees of randomness? Like, you have the speed card. After the speed card, you have the level of the speed card. You have the brand of the speed card. You have the type of the speed card. And then on top of it, you still have the additional 3 possible bonuses that you can get on the speed card, which means that actually min-maxing a car is nothing short of playing a fucking slot machine. That's the problem. It's not how fast you get the cards, it's how random everything is, and also how everything is locked to the car you acquired it on. It's like, seriously, take a look at these systems, EA. It's like, try to figure out how to unfuck yourselves out of these stupid systems that you created. One of the biggest problems isn't even sometimes how long it takes to unlock stuff, even though that's kind of like been a major talking point. One of the biggest problems is how random everything is. And you're gonna tell me it's not gambling? Yeah, you're getting investigated by the fucking Dutch government, by the Belgian government, and I'll tell you what, I hope they fucking deem that shit gambling so that everybody else in town, all the other publishers, they get a goddamn warning. Don't fucking put loot boxes in video games. Thank you all very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you are new here, subscribe. Hit the bell icon so that you're always notified when there's a new video in the game. There's a new video in the game. There's a new video in the channel. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.